Based on the facts on ground in the United States, everybody has the right to plead privacy.
Yeah. Viewers and subscribers, welcome once again to Think Tank TV. Now, it's actually a known fact, like someone would say, that President Bola Tinubus has gone to the Chicago State Court to say, Ejo, Emma Binu, don't bring out my document. It's going to cause an irreparable loss. Wow. Recall that Atiku Abubakar, who is actually the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, had filed a suit in the Chicago State requesting that President Bola Tinubus details in the Chicago State University should be released to the public domain, which was actually granted. Now, President Bola Tinubus went ahead to appeal the judgment, saying, Ejo, Emma Benu, do not bring out my document because it's going to cause an irreparable loss to me. Now, the question here is that will this report, if released by Chicago State University, affect the Supreme Court judgment? The answer is no. Why? Because the Supreme Court is actually going to be premixing their judgment on the just concluded presidential election petition tribunal, and already Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi had gone ahead to file appeal at the Supreme Court, and ultimately there will be no other window to bring in a fresh evidence to the Supreme Court. Now in this video you're going to be hearing from Femi Falana, who is actually a seasoned lawyer in Nigeria. He's a constitutional lawyer and he's going to be explaining to us the implications of this document if it is actually released to the public domain. Please do well to sit back and get the details for yourself, because this video is actually very informative and you're going to be learning a lot from it. Please do well to hit the comment section. Let's go to know what your thinking is about this current development, and we're going to be continually here to serve you. My name is Moses and this is Think Tank TV.
Look at what is going on in the US. President Trump is facing a standing trial in 4 different courts. It's impossible here. The big men and women here are above the law, you know. And so we must go back to the society
that speaks to institutional reform.
Of course, yeah. Of course. And like I said, you must reform the law and reform the institutions. But what is important is to punish offenders.
But you see, all these things you've said, and you have consistently said over the years, I mean, your position has not wavered.
No.
Clearly, it sounds like it's the best way to advance the course of democracy in Nigeria. And every time you recommend going back to the drawing board. But how do you push that point to the relevant
what we are doing
institutions like the National Assembly?
At the level of the civil society, we have Alliance on Surviving COVID-19 and beyond. We have other organizations that have been mobilized to insist on major reforms of the electoral law. And let's be clear. And the campaign is starting soon. The campaign is starting soon. And some of us are going to invest in that campaign in the interest of all of us. I mean, you have young people who were voting for the first time, and they felt so disappointed. And we can't go on like that. We cannot go on like that.
Absolutely.
Because once people are frustrated from, believing in the electoral system, they begin to look for very dangerous alternatives, and which is not in the interest of democracy.
Yeah, you make some very good points there, but it's not every day we have you in the studio, Mr. Falana. So I'd like to get your thoughts. Just move slightly, still election related, but kind of move slightly away from these reforms that you're talking about to an issue that's in the news right now, which is, you talked about the United States, a judge there adjourning Chicago State University case, President Tinubu's case, till Monday, and temporal stay of execution after Tinubu's plea that it will cause irreparable harm to him. Give us your take on that. What kind of irreparable harm could it possibly, what are they talking about?
Charles, I think that question should be directed to the president.
I understand that.
But what is important, frankly speaking, again, this is part of the problem. We conduct an election. in other African countries, right? You only go to the Supreme Court or the Constitutional Court, and these matters are decided within 14 days. In our own case, presidential election dispute will be in 2 courts for 8 months. Governorship will be in court, 3 courts for 10 months. It doesn't happen anywhere in the world. So we must learn, draw some lessons from this crisis.
No, I understand the way you're carrying away that.
You now have election petition going on in Nigerian courts and the United States.
Right. But let me ask you this.
I've told you.
Yeah.
I'm not in a position.
No, I understand that, and I'm not trying to put you in a straight jacket. Right.
I'm learning from the US system.
Right.
Is the speed.
Yeah, but let me ask you this. There seem to be many people who believe that there is a desperation by the president to hide those records from Chicago State University, and that ultimately it could prove to be a huge embarrassment for Nigeria because of that. What are your thoughts?
No, Charles, as a lawyer, I deal with evidence. You're a journalist, you can engage in speculation or gesture. But based on the facts on ground in the United States, everybody has the right to plead privacy.
Yeah, I understand that.
Now, the university, right, even in the secondary school in the US, in the college, to release sometimes the result of a student, even to the parent, there are laws guiding them. So, if the president says, sorry, I don't want my results, my details released, right? The court will have to consider the implication of that on Monday. Vis-a-vis the request by Mr. Atiku Abubakar to have those results.
Yeah, but
that's for the judge.
I understand that, and I understand the
private interest of the president will have to be considered.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
With President Atiku.
I understand that, but as a lawyer yourself, which you've emphasized the fact that you are a lawyer,
yes.
What would have prompted you to, on behalf of a client in such circumstances, to hurriedly appeal against the judgment of the magistrate court ordering the release of just academic records?
No. Again, the university has said President Tinubu attended this system. The management of the school has said he attended this school. Mr. Atiku Abubakar is insisting I need the record, or there's a case going on with the Supreme Court. Now, again, it depends on the privacy, the right of the student.
I understand that.
To have his relief.
But it's also interesting, isn't it, from a legal point of view, that there's another complication, which is that the university are saying that, as you said, he attended the school, but they are not willing to say that under oath.
Yeah. Again,
what does that tell you?
That is the problem of the school. Again, I think we should wait till Monday.
Right. Okay.
The court will have to take a decision.
Yeah, but I understand that. Let me get you to wear not your legal hat, but your civil rights hat, for which you're well known and you're well respected. You're an activist. Would you call on Nigerians to demand from the president that he release his authentic academic records and clear the air once and for all? In other words, as some have suggested, it should not be a fight for Atiku Abubakar alone. It should be a fight for Nigerians to demand to see the records of their president, given that it's so controversial.
As far as I'm concerned, right? Nigerians, right? Majority of Nigerians, and I'm not talking of the elite, are busy trying to eke out a living, right? But if you are talking of a public figure, right,
which he is, clearly,
you hardly have private lives, private interests. But if under the United States law, somebody says I don't want my research, details of my research released. You then leave the terrain of law to the area of morality. Should they have released the result? Should they have allowed the university to release the result or not? Now, and the court on Monday will also look at the totality, the implications, and also the court will also want to know what is this request about. And the court in America will then balance the interest. Should we compel the university to release the result in spite of the objection of President Tinubu? Or the university says we are not ready to be deposed. Again, that is the business of the university.
Wow. This is
right? But that is not for a Nigerian lawyer to insist.
No, I understand.
Forget your law in America, respond to the demand of Nigeria.
I understand.
So that is the position of the law. Because at the end of the day, another battle will arise. Even here. Even if the records are made available, there is another issue here, which is, can the record be admitted?
Yeah, that's an important question.
It's an unfold, for me, it's an unfold.
And that's a question that you can't answer.
No, I can't.
That Atiku has filed his case in the Supreme Court.
Ethically, I cannot preempt this.
Yeah, obviously you cannot preempt that. But is it your sense, based on what you know of the law and the time frame and all the rest of it, that Atiku can submit whatever emerges as fresh evidence in the Supreme Court, or is that not going to happen?
Frankly speaking,
yeah,
I do want to express an opinion on that.
Right.
Frankly speaking, because again, I would be preempting the Supreme Court, and I don't want to do that.
Right.
And in fact, the application has not been made yet.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So it would be fair to turn your
I understand that. I understand.
Yeah.
You have seen it for yourself. Now, it's actually very obvious that the recruitment system of our leaders is actually very faulty. You can imagine that even the president in Nigeria does not need a university degree. Then why do these guys go ahead to begin to submit documents that are questionable? So we're going to be having no option than to wait for Monday, when the court has actually adjoined this issue to determine whether or not the details of Bola Tinubus will be put in the public space. Please do want to go to the comment section. Let's get to know what you're thinking is. Give us a like as a means of courtesy to the producers of this content, and we're going to be continually here to serve you. Thank you so much to all our viewers and returning subscribers. We do not take it lightly. My name again is Moses, and this is Think Tank TV. See you on our next video.